Well, I never did get to that caffeine that I was talking about in my last video earlier today. And I wasn't expecting any news, but this recruiting news will definitely perk me up a bit. If you haven't heard it yet, sit down. This is the kind of news that makes the national media. It's already out there. Meanwhile, this is WVU Football Going Deep. I'm Forrest Poston. I feel like crap. I'd rather feel like somebody else right now, but hey, I'll take what I got. Meanwhile, please share, subscribe, make comments, tell your friends, click the thumbs up, and click the notification bell. And this is 2026 news. This is our second recruit. We got a big linebacker before, and now we have a commit from a composite 4-star quarterback, Brodie McWhorter, rated anywhere from about the number 23 to the number 10 quarterback in the country. I don't think let's say it's at least been a while since we had a signing that big. And of course, Nico Marchiol's big, and he's going to play big when he gets his chance coming up, which we got to hope isn't really until 2025. But McWhorter stands about 6'2", around 195 pounds, out of Georgia. I say he's a composite 4-star, one of the best nationally rated. Offers just from lots of people, but it did include Georgia, Florida State, and Ohio State. And please note that I did not and will not call them the Ohio State University, and technically I just did. Anyway, now McWhorter is, he is dual threat. He is not Garrett Green in terms of feet. He runs a solid about 4.89 40. He can get downfield and will get downfield. He runs his share of draws. And he is a Marchiol style runner. He is more, just going to hit you straight up and, take the shortest distance, line to the end zone that he can find. But he gets the job done, and it is something that defenses will have to worry about. And right now, in terms of his arm, in his sophomore year in high school, he is pretty much doing what Garrett Green has now learned to do in his, last year would have been his 4th year in college ball. He can get it downfield 40 yards with touch. He stays cool when he's under pressure, rolls out, keeps his eyes downfield, and he finds an open man. And he puts the ball on the mark. Now, I imagine he misses at times, but they don't show that in the highlights. But he does it often enough to get attention. This is just a massive, massive commitment. And actually, West Virginia had, I think, about 3 highly rated quarterbacks on the line. Guys that, were seriously looking at West Virginia, but we're not going to be taking, more than one because, we can't get more than one to stay in a given year. Now, consider this. He won't be here until 2026, but if everybody stayed, and they won't, we'll lose at least one guy, maybe 2 off of this list. But potentially in 2026, scholarship quarterbacks could include Marchiol, Burton, Wilkins, Fox, and McWhorter. Even if somebody leaves, and even if 2 of them leave, we have never had that many quarterbacks of that quality on the roster at the same time. This is just flat out fantastic. And now this, I mean, I talked about this last year that, you know, with the culture in place and the winning starting, that was going to help recruiting. And then, I mean, you know, it's just good begets good. The better that the Neal Brown and his staff are able to recruit and retain, the better they get each year. And you sign a quarterback like McWhorter, people want to play along with him. So, you know, we haven't finished the 2025 recruiting class quite yet. We're close. But this, you know, this is, I'm not going to say it's bigger than 2025 because we haven't even played 2024. But what this says about the program, the facilities, Coach Brown, Coach Scott, and Coach Allen is big. And I said, you know, when I talked about Allen after he was hired, I think he could be something very special. He's dedicated to being a coach and has been since he was a kid. That doesn't happen often in coaching. He's found his, his bliss, as Joseph Campbell might have said. And I think that shows in his coaching. Players catch onto that, and they want to play for him. And I don't know how long we can hang on to him, but he's going to make a difference as long as he's here. And I think so will Brodie McWhorter. Now, of course, I don't want to see McWhorter play in 26. I want, I want Neal to have 2 big years. I want each of these guys to take their turn. Now, when you have players this big, it's not as likely. For one thing, they're likely to be ready sooner. Now, I mean, Neal needed these previous, 2 years. He's ready now, but Green's going to start. Neal is ready, but this will be the first year that he is really ready. Now, each of these guys coming in is probably going to learn that they aren't as ready as they thought they were. And even Burton, probably is going to realize he's got more to learn than he thought he did. So I think they will still need to be patient, but I think they recruit for patience as part of their approach, which is, when you recruit with that in mind, you have a better chance of getting guys to hang around. All right, that's the news for this afternoon, to go with the news for this morning, or the late afternoon news to go with the early afternoon news. Whether we will hear something more today, I don't know. McWhorter had set a July 4th announcement date and then just went public. I didn't even, on the boards there, did not see any warnings. Nobody said, hey, something's coming, but it sure made it here. All right. Well, I do still, I think, need to do something about that caffeine. So I will talk to you guys later as soon as I can get this silly video edited and up. So long, and try not to smile too much.